video explains a few key group statement concepts that is necessary to understand for purposes of working through Year Test 1, Question 1. Concepts particularly relevant to this question is in Chapter 4, asking the question, when do you adjust profit attributable to NCI for the effect of a consolidation journal entry? Looking again at how to calculate equity of the group attributable to both the owners of the parent and NCI, and briefly revisiting Chapter 8, where the subsidiary issued preference shares. In Chapter 4, when deciding should you adjust profit attributable to NCI for the effect of consolidation journal entries, the following thought process should be followed. The first question to ask is, does the consolidation journal have a net effect on the group's profit? In other words, would the group's profit change after you've processed the consolidation journal entry? If your answer to this question is yes, the next question to ask is, does this consolidation journal entry relate to changing the subsidiary's profit that ends up being included in the group's profit, causing a change in the group's profit? If you answer yes to the second question, the profit of the subsidiary should be adjusted with the effect of the consolidation journal entry before calculating profit attributable to NCI. So NCI will be affected. Examples of these type of consolidation journal entries will be looked at as part of the work covered in Chapter 5 and Chapter 7 later this year. If the consolidation journal entry changes the parent's profit, so it's not changing the subsidiary's profit feeding into the group, the calculation of profit attributable to NCI will not be affected, as profit attributable to NCI uses as a starting point the profit of the subsidiary. If your answer to the first question, does the consol entry have a net effect on group's profit, is no, NCI will not be affected. NCI only exists in the group and is measured from a group perspective. If group profit doesn't change, the measurement of NCI should also not change. The equity in the consolidated statement of changes in equity and consolidated SFB is presented under two distinct headings: equity attributable to the owners of the parent and equity attributable to NCI. The key concept behind calculating these amounts is equity attributable to the owners of the parent equals 100% of the equity of the parent plus 100% of the equity of the subsidiary plus minus your consolidation journal entries. Your at acquisition consolidation journal entry debits the equity of the subsidiary at acquisition date, resulting in only the since acquisition equity movement of the subsidiary to form part of the equity of the group. Furthermore, the since acquisition consolidation journal entries, your NCI journals, move some of this since acquisition equity of S to NCI, so that NCI is measured in the consolidated financial statements at their portion of the since acquisition movement of the equity of S. Based on the cake analogy, a portion of this since acquisition equity of S, represented by the cake, is sliced out and given to NCI. Therefore, it's moved to another line item in the consolidated financial statements. By measuring NCI in this manner, moving some of the since acquisition equity of S to NCI, the remaining since acquisition equity of S, the remainder of the cake, is then included in the equity attributable to the owners of the parent line item. Thus, by making sure NCI is measured correctly, the equity attributable to the parent is automatically also measured correctly.